All right, well, welcome everyone. This is our first podcast, so episode number one. Really excited to have Frank Sciarrino, is the COO managing partner of Quote Countertops, and Quote Countertops is awesome interactive software that lets customers visualize their kitchen and bath. So, welcome, Frank. Thank you for joining the show.
Thank you, Stephen. I appreciate you having me on.
Yeah, for sure. Excited to get rolling on this. Me and Frank know each other in the industry. So when we thought to start a podcast, I said, "Oh, Frank's got awesome software, has probably a lot of knowledge. So let's get him on and let's get this going." So why don't you tell us a little bit about your story, how you got started in the kitchen, bath, and countertop industry, and this is maybe before Quote was even created, back in the day.
Right. Well, I'd like to say I'm a recovering fabricator. So family business, third generation stone fabricator, 17 years worked at the family business full time. Before that, it was summers, weekends, after school, right? You just worked.
Yeah.
We're 43 years in business, the company, and we did everything from kitchen and bath, box store, retail, high-end custom, anything stone, tiled, slab, we did. So a lot of experience in the industry.
Cool. Yeah. So myself also, back in the 80s, my father he did countertops for Micah at the time, and some kitchen and bath. So I remember working with him. He passed away in the 90s and the business kind of fizzled away. But, I was working with him probably at 13 years old. Yep. And sawdust everywhere and, getting my hands dirty. So it's good experience to come from that, it's to work in that. So
yeah, all my friends in Southern California, they were going to the beach, doing surfing, all that other stuff. So I think I learned how to drive a forklift before I learned how to drive a car. But
yeah, that's fun.
You just do the good stuff.
Yeah, awesome. So when you go back to the beginning before Quote was even created, what was the biggest flaw that you saw in the industry?
Wow. I mean, going back, there's a few. I think one of the bigger ones, this industry did a very good job of innovating in the shop, right? Now you look at it, we have laser templates, robot arms, water jet, and they're always about production. They really missed out on they really missed out on the front end of their business, right? The sales and marketing, their website. How are you going to feed the beast? You build these massive shops. Where are you getting all that work from? Yeah. So knowing, later in my career, I knew, but going on, we didn't concentrate enough on that sales process, sales training, getting your website going. At the time, it was before the website, but once we got to that age where it was starting to get popular, that was a big thing that we missed out on.
Yeah. I mean, it's an older school industry where, I guess a lot of the home service industries, it was a business card, it was yellow pages, it wasn't a website. So yeah, for sure. I mean, with that flaw or with that disadvantage in the market, I guess you guys thought, all right, let's create Quote. So tell us a little bit about that. Like, how did Quote exactly get started?
Yeah, funny story. So Quote started as a basic need, right? I think it was a direct buy. It was a retailer, and it was two friends, and one guy was a fab shop, and the other friend knew the guy at direct buy, and hey, I can get you in to do the countertops. And what ended up happening is he had the best price, but he wasn't getting the work. And when they went and looked at it, the way that they were quoting countertops was archaic, right? You couldn't get side-by-side pricing. Yeah. And just, pen and paper was very weird. So they got the direct buy deal, and direct buy liked the software they created. So they approached me on the West Coast as one, the bigger names in countertops. And so when I looked at taking the work, we started talking about what the software is and what it can do. And they had some early on stages of putting it online. So that's when I joined the company as managing partner. And one of the earlier founders is like, we were talking about, and there's a need. And I saw where it was going, right? It was right there. So easy for everyone. Most people missed it, like Amazon. All these people are starting to come out with this internet and your website. Like, people are going to shop and design, and they're going to search. This is how they're going to buy. Yeah. So I say that we were actually almost too early. We were coming out with it before, and people were buying, and people were using the tool in the version 3, which is insane.
Yeah. Well, what year was that around?
Oh man, it must have been, we're probably close to 7 years now.
Okay. Wow. And
we were getting quotes right off the website back then.
Yeah.
insane. I mean, and I still talk to companies that are still don't have pricing on their website, still not offering estimates, digital
Yeah.
estimates.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's
for
hard
sure.
to believe.
No, it's definitely something that's needed. And yeah, I mean, if you think 7 years ago, it's feels like it was 30 years ago, like in the technology sense of it, everything is developing so fast that that's another thing with, staying on top of this stuff, understanding it. It's all happening so fast. So even with our clients, we stay on top with it so they don't have to, and I think it's important in this day and age. Everyone's on their phone, everyone's on a computer, so
Yeah, I say it all the time, Steve. I say when people talk, and next time you're at a stoplight, right, look left, look right. See if the people are at the stoplight are on their phone.
yeah,
People have
exactly.
instant gratification. They can't wait. You go to a doctor's office, same thing, right? Everybody's on their phone. It's like instant gratification. Customers want what they're looking for right now.
Yeah.
And we all know where they're going to go to get it, right? So you have to be there.
Yeah, no, for sure. 100%. Yeah. All right, cool. So, as a managing partner, or as a business owner myself, I know things don't always go smoothly. With my own company, I can point out probably a million mistakes that I made in the beginning and along way, and mistakes happen. So, one thing for myself was when I was growing my company, I didn't rely on a team. I was trying to do everything myself. So that was a big fault. And I was working 20 hours, nothing, seemed like nothing was even getting done because I was just doing so much. So, with your business, can you dive into a little, struggle that you guys had, or maybe a mistake that you made? And the reason I ask this is it's just good to, I think, from any type of business, just to learn from what other people have made a mistake in.
Great, great. Yeah. Well, when you look back, even, my stone countertop days with the family business, every failure is an opportunity, right? You learn from it, right? So that's number one. So, I mean, to say one or two, I had a bunch. We all do. One of the things, though, is now, and they weren't around or harder to find back then, is to ask for help. You're trying to solve a problem that's already been solved. So there's association, other fabricators. I could just picked up the phone and call the fabricator in another state, and he probably has the same issues that I was having. He'd probably help me solve it. So that was one thing, is like just to pick up the phone, ask for help. Now there's Facebook groups, and you can go to associations, and you can get the help, and you're not in this alone. The other thing was, like you're saying, trying to do everything yourself. And I think Steve Jobs said you don't hire smart people to tell them what to do. You hire smart people so they tell you what to do, right?
Yeah.
So you got to leave, and you got to let people do their job. You got to get the right people in the right seats of the bus, and you don't have to do it yourself. There's qualified people that are out there, and it's okay. They might make mistakes too, but they'll grow, and we'll learn something from it.
Yeah. No, that's good. Thanks for sharing that. Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's tough to sometimes take a step back and let someone do something. I'm myself a perfectionist. I get crazy if something's not perfect. So to put that in someone else's hands is scary sometimes, but it only hurts the business if you try to do everything yourself and you don't grow. So I appreciate that honesty. So, going back to quote, what do you think homeowners want to do when they're using a tool like yours? Are they in that research phase, or are they further down the funnel where, all right, we need a countertop, we want to redesign our kitchen, they're ready to call someone? Or is it maybe it's a little bit of both?
Right. Well, great question, Stephen. It is a little bit of both. There's three things, though. No matter they come into your showroom, if you're out their house, if they're on your website, there's three questions you have to answer so they buy from you, right? It's how much it's going to cost, what it's going to look like, and when I'm going to get it, right? You got to answer those three. With our technology, the design, the quoting, how much it's going to cost, what it's going to look like is taken care of. So shoppers want instant gratification. They want to know what it's going to look like. They want to know how much it's going to cost. So they're always starting online, right? Whether it's social media or Google search, they're in the research phase.
Yeah.
But the way we're built is we're not very patient people anymore. So that research phase, it used to be 6 months, is, if they can buy now, they'll buy now, right? So we have to check out, they'll just buy, or they get the information they want when they're looking for it, and they see examples of their kitchens that, gallery images, and they pull the trigger. So they're in our software. The point is to get them to think of what their kitchen or bathroom is going to look like.
Yeah.
as they're using the design or the quoting software. Once you get them picturing it, it's all about now is they're planning for the sale. They're not researching what is it going to cost, who am I going to get it from. I mean, if they get to the right place and they get these answers quickly, then they're moving forward pretty quick. So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I mean, it's a great tool because it's visual, and we're all visual these days. No one wants to read anymore. No one wants to. They just want to look at pictures, video, play around with things. So it's nice that you can kind of visualize it. Then you can take it to the next step. So with your software, are they able to actually purchase product from the software?
yeah, we have the update where now it's, before it was just they can get a design, get quote, and it would send an email, or they get the price. They can go all the way to the end and it sends them a formal proposal.
Yeah.
Now we've actually added checkout where they actually can put their credit card in, put a deposit down. Digital contract pops up, whether it's DocuSign or our built-in system where they can actually sign it. And I would say 50-60% of the people that are using the software are on their cell phone.
Oh,
So
wow,
they're on their cell phone. It's Sunday at 3:00 and they're buying a countertop, right? It's just
yeah.
how the world is working.
Yeah, well, and it kind of opens it up because, Sundays sometimes shops are closed or off hours, maybe it's at night. They might not be getting that business, a fabricator, a kitchen and bath remodeler. So now it kind of opens it up a little bit more where people might be doing something at 2 a.m. and then look, you just got a sale or at least you got a good quote where you could go, sell them something. So no, that's awesome. Now, you guys work with a ton of fabricators, ton of kitchen bath remodelers. Do you have a success story that, really stands out, one that stands out more from the rest?
Yeah, well, I mean, thinking about that long and hard, it's like we have a few, right? So the one that was probably the most impressive is we had one countertop provider, bigger one, who did close to $4 million with our software off his website.
Oh, wow.
Online quotes that closed. He was closing like 33%, right? So he probably did $12 million in online quotes, closed $4 million of business from his website. And as you know, your website's your showroom, but it's open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Yeah.
So you got to get people there. And it's not like when they walk in your showroom and they can just walk next door. It's 8 seconds. They can hit the back button and go to the next guy's website. So you get them there and you make sure they stay there. That's what you guys are great at. Now, you're looking at the design tool. We had a customer who had a salesperson who couldn't close in the house. This guy was just known for not being able to close a sale in the house. They used the design tool. They closed $100,000 in sales. They did countertops and cabinets in sales because they used the design tool and the consumer could see what it was going to look like. So they're able to sign the dotted lines right there.
Yeah.
And then the last one probably would be in the box store, like in-store sales. We have we put our software into a showroom. Sales went up 26% over a lot of showrooms, multiple locations, plugged in our software. We make it very hard in this industry for people to give us money, right?
Yeah.
We make it very hard for people to buy from us.
Yeah.
We make them go through so many loopholes, like we don't give them a price. We have them fill out this contact us form.
Yeah.
And we don't let them do DocuSign. We don't let them take payment online, even though you can get your haircut and they swipe it on their cell phone, right?
That's true.
We're working on it. We're getting there.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, no, that's so because when I think of quote, I think, all right, someone goes to the website, they play around with the tool. Now, how does it work in a showroom? Do you have like, is it like someone takes an iPad or something like that?
Yeah. So a couple different ways. We have these like 42-inch touchscreen kiosks.
Okay.
That are wrapped. It looks like it's wrapped in like quartz or marble, and it's a big touchscreen. They can do it. It works on iPads, cell phones, Surface Pros, or they'll have like computer stations, kind of like a car dealership where you have the table of the buying station where they have a computer screen, and it walks the consumer through every step. So the sales associate will build the kitchen and go through the step. Filter it by quartz product, for example, pick your edge. Would you like to add a granite gold, 5-year countertop protection plan? Would you like to add demo? Salesperson doesn't miss a beat. The average ticket goes up about 20-30% because now your salespeople are offering all the upgrades. Just like when you buy your cell phone, you don't buy $1,100 cell phone, you buy the case, you buy the AirPods, you buy all this other stuff.
Yeah.
So the sales process in the showroom works on any device. And it gets them it's kind of like being in an Apple store. You're different. When a customer comes in, gets a quote from your company, and it's all automated, and it's got a design, it's got a quote, it's got all these upgrade options, and then they go next door and the guy's got a paper and pen and says, hey, it's, about $3,000. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. No, well, yeah, I feel like it definitely the experience. I mean, again, with any business, it's about the experience. So walking into a showroom, having an experience like that, you're going to remember that. Then, like you said, walking to another showroom where it's just not the same. So, or like you said, maybe it's just pen and paper and something like that. So no, that's fantastic. That's great. So, outside of Quote, do you see, you know, anything working for countertop companies, kitchen and bathroom modelers, to have a fully booked schedule of jobs, something not related to your software, something else that you might know of or see out there?
Right. Well, the big one because of COVID, obviously, is doing virtual consultations.
Yeah.
You can do more appointments now. Now, with this pandemic, it's kind of trained society on how to do Zoom calls, right?
Yeah.
So, because
Yeah.
people are doing happy hours, everybody's working remotely, kids are doing classes. So, you can do a lot more appointments virtually than you would if you were to go, have to go to all these people's houses.
Yeah.
The big thing, though, is outside our software is you have to have, not just to plug you guys, but you have to have a good website. You have to have a social media presence.
Yeah.
In this day and age, the number one tool would be, can people find you? And you can make your company look like $100 million company on your website.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not like you're in an area where you don't have space and you can't build a big showroom. That's okay. Your website can really look like $100 million showroom. I mean, with
Yeah.
all the live help and the technology that you can plug into it, and instant book appointments and all that good stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. No, no, good points. I mean, yeah, there's so many, your website, then you get, chat apps, something like Quote, Facebook. So, I mean, what we see a lot of movement in Facebook and Instagram. Those platforms are fantastic. It's very visual. People, it's interaction. They're there kind of hanging out. So it's, but they like to look at pictures, different slabs, before and afters. So it's just, again, it's about the experience. It's putting your work out there, getting it in front of people. And it's actually not that it's easy to do these days. It's just people are on their phones. You could get something in front of them, so they can check it out. So yeah, that's some good info. So, just some final thoughts, what direction do you see the industry going in?
Well, before and you before I jump into that, you made a good point on Facebook and Instagram. I just kind of want to touch on real quick.
Yeah, for sure.
And you're right. People retain 80% of what they see, right? That's number one. It's visual. So you look at Facebook, you have Facebook images. So Facebook ads, you're actually seeing it. And
Yeah.
the Google ads, it's all text only. So it's visual. People are retaining who you are.
Yeah.
But what do all the great companies do? They turn their consumers into their salespeople.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Instagram, Facebook, you get those guys to share. Like even our tool, we have a share in the design tool. Share your design on Facebook, Instagram.
Yeah.
Turn that, then they're blowing up your business for you, right?
Yeah.
So that's where social media is just so important. And sorry to go back, but
that's
I want to hit on that.
No, for sure. And to even go further into that, I think that, like you said, we'll maybe set up an ad for a client in Facebook, and yeah, you have to pay for the ads, but then just the interaction, people comment on it, people share it, people like it, that just amplifies it. So then their friends see it. So it really is, what I tell companies, where they do Facebook ads, or they just or Instagram ads, or they just put it out organically, is just put your projects out there. That's what people want to see. They don't necessarily always want to be sold to, but in a way, by seeing your projects, by even using a tool like yours, they can play around with things, and it's just interactive. Like you said, it's visual. It's all visual. So, I mean, video, images, it works the best on social media. I know we're going off into a social media tangent.
Yeah, it's so important. Like you're saying, you asked me the question, where's the industry going, right?
Yeah.
Well, one is pretty obvious, online shopping, right? I think, online shopping for countertops and everything else, Home Depot does it. They have an online tool right now where you can go buy countertops and they're the single biggest countertop provider in the nation.
Yeah.
So online, you're going to see more and more. You can add a shop now button to your Facebook page. It's simplifying your pricing and offering your products, even if you get a deposit online, right? Because that's where the pandemic, we have more people on the internet than ever before. The other thing that's going to stick is these virtual consultations, these web consultations where you,
Yeah.
I mean, you can use our software, you can use any software, not any, but any good one at least, to get on a Zoom conference like this, get the drawing from the customer beforehand and go through, share your screen and build their kitchen and give them a price, right? When it's countertops, at least. We're still working through the cabinets, and the technology is getting closer to do that. But I think that's where we're going, is basically online. It's where we all live.
Virtual. Yeah. It's a good point. I mean, I think the pandemic, it made us kind of go there, but now people don't really want to leave their homes. So it's like, all right, if I could do a FaceTime, a Zoom, whatever it is, and I don't have to leave my house, why not? Right. I mean, it makes it easier for everyone. And then even for, a fabricator, kitchen bathroom modeler, it's easy for them too, because it opens them up to more people being able to, get quotes and stuff like that. So yeah, virtual, I think it's here to stay. So yeah.
And to touch on that, Stephen, for the kitchen and bath dealer, I call it dating, right? Like, you can actually send a consultation up before they even waste your time.
Yeah.
What's your, get to know each other. What's your budget? What are the styles? Let me show you some pictures of different kitchens that we've done, and make sure it's a good fit. Instead of wasting your time going to their house, come to the showroom, their budget's $5,000. And you're like, well, you're looking at something that's going to cost you 30, right? So it's so important just to do that initial consultation, get to know them, and get the ball moving.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it saves time. Yeah, it opens the door. It kind of, so you have somewhat of a conversation or a relationship in the beginning. For sure, it's like dating when you think about it. So that's a good analogy. So awesome. Well, listen, thanks so much. Definitely check out Quote Countertops at quotecountertops.com. And I appreciate you jumping on, Frank. And that's it. Thanks so much.
You're welcome. Thanks again, Stephen.